Altruist. Altruist is a lot farther down the road of this Three Stooges thing.
Yes, it was much more Three Stoogey.
And boy, it's a hard thing to do. And I am amazed that there's so many good things in there. Boy, I think this industry owes a lot to John because he pioneered a new way of storytelling in animation. You know, what happens is in the old animation, they just, they wouldn't have much of a script, just a situation. Character goes down into the deep and meets an octopus while he's swimming around in a shark, and they chase him around, and some of the fish dance, and then he gets out of it, and that's the end. And, but you know, the nice thing about loose stories like that is that they allow for a lot of animation, interesting animation and gags. So the story may not be that great, but it's not important because it gives a lot of room for the gags to play. And it's really the gags that make the film. And here's something where the gags and the acting really make this film. And it was so daring, so conceptually bold, I thought, to any more hyperbole that I can think of, to take this risk and do this in a long format. I think it definitely showed that John is ready to do features because he can do a sustained gag-oriented cartoon where there's not a bomb ticking away, you know, that we know is going to go off in 5 minutes or something, and where it's just one gag after another, and you can make it work. And I think people will be looking through these films in the future, just scanning them and, you know, for what they can get out of them, because I believe that is the future of animation. I think we're going to go back to that earlier thing where we do have a plot, but we also have it's a plot that allows for long, extended middles with just plain gags. And I think that's what he's pioneering in this whole series, and it's going to change animation. I'm convinced of it.
You guys have any interesting stories about, like, I don't know, motivation or inspiration for jokes and gags in this particular piece? Altruists? Any that come to mind? I mean, there are so many.
Only when the camera stops, right?
Yes, exactly. They don't come up with thousands of them.
Because you did a lot of the widow setups.
Yeah, the widow
and
section was really
boy.
hard. It was really hard to draw girls. I didn't mind drawing the headless kid that talks through his stump, but that's
I did the voice for the head.
that's scary when you do that.
Yeah.
Every time you do it, though, I just picture your head gone and your tongue lolling around in your neck hole.
There's a sugar left over, Stimpy.
Hey, that's my lucky singular.
That was my favorite part about it.
Thanks. I appreciate
When Stimpy was skinned and the strange Italian man.
Yeah, I can't take full credit for that. That was a combination of a bunch of other artists up in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Artists and writers. Mike Kerr is one of the gentlemen that actually worked on The Ripping Friends. He did the voice for Chunk, and he did some writing on that episode. And
that was look at those rosy cheeks.
Yeah.
It made me so.
Well, actually, he appears in that sequence. He's the
guy on the roof.
The Anglo-Saxon neighbor, right? That's his favorite. Stimpy's favorite.
The setup for the Altruist is great. I mean, with the girl who needs help.
Yeah, they were going to build the lady a house.
Yeah.
Kind of fond of the duck too.
Oh, and a duck that'll let you climb his lump? I mean, my God.
Pretty much any sequence.
Yes, the masher duck.
Yes.
They had a condom that was a masher condom.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this is a problem too at television, and where you have to, you know, come in at a certain length all the time because, let's say, you know, this is a new field for TV. This kind of Three Stooges thing of one gag after another, and it's really the sort of thing where you have to experiment for a while. You have to do a film, you have to cut it down, see what length works best with that kind of thing. I think it requires some, you know, trying things out and whatever. And TV doesn't really allow for that, really. You know, there's a length and they give it to you and that's it. So, man, it's hard. All I know is at the end of that film, I thought, man, John's ready for a feature. This is great. This is really great. I love that format. It's, to me, it's the only way to do real comedy because otherwise you're telling stories, and novels are better for stories than animation. Animation is what you do when you're doing gags, and there's some hilarious gags in that.
Yes, yeah.